Okay. I don't want you to write this down. I want you to check it after you've done these on your own, okay? So the answer to this one, 4,257 times 5 is 21,285. 6,018 times 9 is 54,162. 758 times 6 is 4,548. So when you're done with this page, check these answers and make sure that it's what you got, okay? 697 times 3 is 2,091. 2,141 times 8 is 11,128. 7,956 times 7 is 55,692. Okay, we're going to go to the next page. We already did number 1. Number 2 we already did, right? So we're going to go to number 3. If somebody misses 5 points out of 100 on a test, we need to know what the decimal is of that score. So they missed 5 out of 100. How many did they get correct, Jacob?
Wait, what?
How many did they get correct? If you miss 5 points on a test out of 100, how many?
Oh, 95.
All right, so you got 95 out of 100. What is that as a decimal?
5 decimal.
What is the decimal?
5 decimal.
Like this?
No.
Like this?
Oh, second.
Yeah, so this is called 0.95. That's how we say it.
Okay.
All right. Next one is 602,163 is greater than, less than, or equal to 620,163. Which one is bigger, this one or this one?
Second.
So we make the arrow pointing towards the bigger, smaller number, sorry. Okay. Next problem is 3 times 1 million plus 3 times 100,000 plus 2 times 100, right? So they want us to figure out what number that is. Can you try to figure that out and tell me what you got?
For what?
You got to pay attention, Jacob. For this one right here. 3 times 1 million plus 3 times 100,000 plus 2 times 100. What is that number?
3,300,000. 3,300,200.
Yes. So it looks like this. 3, 3, 0, 0, 2, 0, 0.
Okay.
And then the next one is 755,082 rounded to the nearest 10,000. How would you solve that?
7,555,000 082 rounded to the nearest 10,000.
Yeah.
Which would be 8,000.
So here's how you round, honey. No matter what they tell you to round to, here's what you do. You underline the digit that you're supposed to be rounding to. So I'm supposed to be rounding to the nearest 10,000. That is this digit right here. Does that make sense to you so far?
Uh-huh.
All right, so you underline the digit that you're rounding to, and then you go to the neighbor to the right. So I always draw an arrow right here. And I say 5 or more, let it soar. 4 or less, let it rest. And we're not talking about this digit. We're talking about the underlined digit that's either going to soar or rest. So if you go to this neighbor, Jacob.
Yeah.
Is this going to soar or is it going to rest?
Soar.
And it only has the power to either go up 1 or stay the same. And then everything after the underlined digit turns into a 0.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
All right, let's practice some of those. All right.
And
yes.
can I get some water?
Can you wait? We're done in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Round to the nearest thousands for this one. So what number would I underline?
The 2.
And then what would I do from there?
Go to your neighbor is the 1.
Yes.
And 5 or more, let it soar. 4 or less, let it rest. So let the 1 rest.
The 1 doesn't rest. The underlined digit either goes up 1 or it's the underlined digit that changes.
Oh.
So would my 2 stay a 2 or would it go to a 3?
Stay out the 2.
And then what would happen to all my numbers after the underlined digit?
And they all turn into zeros.
Yep. So 32,000. How about this one? 132,000. We're rounding to the nearest 100,000. So I'm going to underline the 1. And then what am I going to do from there?
Get your neighbor 4 or less, let it rest. 5 or more, let it soar. So it's a 4 or less. So it's just let the 3 stay there. Then turn every number after the 3 a 0.
Okay, so you're still a little bit confused. It's the 1, it's the underlined digit that either stays the same or soars, or that's it. So the 3 doesn't stay the same. It's the underlined digit that stays the same.
Okay.
So yeah, that's, I know, pretty tricky. But if you just remember it's the underlined digit that changes or stays the same, then you'll be okay. And then everything after the underlined digit is going to turn to a 0 no matter what. So what does this number become, Jacob?
A 3?
No.
Or 0?
What does this whole number become? What does the number turn into?
1?
No, I mean, what number is it after you round it? Like, say the whole entire number.
100. No. 130,000, 0, and everything after this 3.
So no. The number becomes 100,000, which is 100,000. So here's the situation. If you want to master rounding, take the steps that I showed you and you'll get the answer right every single time. So if this was 289,351 and you're rounding to here, what would the number become? I want to hear you go through the steps.
So the 2 stays the same. Because it's under 4.
No, you go to the neighbor
Okay.
and you say 4 or more, 4 or less, let it rest. 5 or more, let it soar. So what is the neighbor?
The 8.
Is that rest or does it make the 2 go to a 3?
It makes a 2 go to a 3.
So the answer is 3, and then all of these numbers become a 0. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
All right, follow those steps. You'll get it right every single time, my darling.